Hey fandom, this is me, Aaron. Comic show, new comics now. I'm gonna talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, East of West, and some other stuff. I'm wearing my freaking Rocket Raccoon t-shirt. I love Rocket Raccoon. I've always loved animals. I love Nort from Green Lantern. But Guardians of the Galaxy, this is Bendis. It was awesome. I really dug it. And it didn't disregard the whole Thanos imperative like we were worried about and Abbott Lanning's run. They mention it specifically in this classic Bendis way where Peter is having an argument with his father, and his father's like, hey, I've been keeping tabs on you, son. I know about you taking on Thanos and dying and somehow coming back in some weird thing called a cancer verse. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to talk. I don't have to explain myself to you. And it's like, well, I would love you to explain yourself to me, the reader, Peter. But Bendis, I know you're going to get to this. Maybe a couple story arcs in, they'll go back after Rich, explain the Rich stuff. But Rocket Raccoon was awesome in here. He's the breakout character. Groot was great. The team of those two is still very much intact. Gamora is a beautiful assassin like she should be. Everything is just really cool. I really like what Bendis is doing here. And McNiven's art, for as long as it lasts, is great. We have the Scotty Young baby cover and lithos to give out. We got freaking trading cards to give out. There's some weird Deadpool texting cover. And at my store, we're going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy party tomorrow night, or tonight if you're watching this on Wednesday, from 8 to 10. And we're going to be giving everyone that comes in between 8 to 10 Guardians of the Galaxy #1, the standard cover, absolutely free because, we're selling beer now, so we can give comics away for free. And the other thing is, if you're local and you're coming and you share it on the Facebook and get a raffle ticket when you come in, you can get this weird half sketch cover, double covered, crazy one-of-a-kind thing that says, Dear a Comic Shop, thanks for taking a chance on something new. And it's like, this isn't something new. This is something borrowed. This is something blue. East to West is something new. But, I appreciate the free thing, and I'll give it out to you guys. Some one lucky person can have a keepsake of a comic shop, and that's awesome. And finally, final word on Guardians is this beautiful Phantom variant. I don't really geek out about variants or collectability. I don't care any of that. But, man, Thanos looks awesome there. It's a homage to Days of Futures Past. It's like, Wolverine in place of Thanos, or Thanos in place of Wolverine. It looks awesome. So, I'm going to have those tomorrow in hand. And Thanos #1 was brilliant. I read that. It's coming out next week, and Jason Aaron kicked ass. Moving on to Age of Ultron. This has been selling great. People have been liking it that have tried it. I freaking love it. I don't know where it fits. I don't know how it fits. It's kind of like Age of Apocalypse, but I dig it. This has a crazy cliffhanger ending of a non-Ultron robot, and I've already read the next issue from Marvel, and it's great. And we get these two tie-ins this time. Fantastic Four is non-essential tie-in, but when you're reading this, Invisible Woman's the only FF member left. Well, here you see how that happened. And Christos Gage on Superior Spider-Man one-shot of the Age of Ultron actually has the Ock, Doc Ock Spidey in here, and it's specifically Doc Ock Spidey. I don't know how that jives with issue 1 and our happy-go-lucky, joking around with Hawkeye as if they're the best of oldest friends by Bendis in the first issue, but still this really makes it Ock, and you get the first-person narrative of Ock in this futuristic, crazy world that, it's now, but it's all crazy taken over by robots, and how Ock as a scientist is really frustrated in not being able to take care of this. And Tony Stark's like, yeah, me too. I'm responsible for technology. I'm the tech guy. And, I'm digging Age of Ultron. I would suggest if you're a FF fan, get this. And I think everyone should get this. Christos Gage is awesome. This is a great book. Young Avengers, loving this book. This time they take on their real arch enemies, their parents. I mean, that's every teenager's arch enemy. Uncanny Avengers, digging this book, love Rick Remender, love what they're doing with Alex Summers. I love how he's stepping into his own and becoming his own man, someone that Xavier would be very proud of. And I like that Remender is picking up on these characters that haven't been used all that much or had the spotlight all that much, like Wonder Man and Wasp here and Scarlet Witch and, obviously Alex, who I mentioned, but these characters that didn't really take the spotlight for the bulk of Bendis' run on Avengers. And now all new X-Men's out in a hardcover. It's pretty cool. There's no dust jacket on it. It's something that Marvel's trying out here, and I love this book. Bendis rocked this book. He has a resurgent, like this renaissance with Bendis, where maybe he was a little burned down on his tenure of Avengers, but his X-Men is awesome, and his cosmic Guardians of the Galaxy, I loved it. I'm sorry. This is the requiem you need. This is, Batman Incorporated 9 after 8, where Damian died. Spoiler, everyone knows. He's in this grave here. You have the most emotional stuff that you've seen so far. This is an emotional roller coaster thing, where the no words thing of Batman and Robin 18 was a gut punch and emotional. Now you actually hear Batman in his own words telling Alfred, take a vacation, telling Alfred that, he shouldn't have let Damian out that night. And it's kind of weird how it jives with Death of the Family. Obviously, that takes place first because Damian's alive in that, and Bruce failed to protect Alfred in the manor, and Alfred got kidnapped by the Joker and all that. That it's a little weird, his relationship with Alfred and his words with Alfred there, but, maybe Alfred does deserve a vacation, so, maybe Bruce, that's the only way he'd give it to him. Aquaman, Tula's in it. This is not a spoiler, it's very early on, Tula, the old Aqua girl, and there's a crazy cliffhanger ending with a new returning character, and the cover says Return of the King, and there's Aquaman. East of West. This is the book to get this week. If other than Guardians, which I'm going to give my people for free, so since I'm giving you guys Guardians for free, everyone here, just try this East of West. It's like exercised, it's Hickman, it's America that had the Civil War, and then everything went crazy to where America split into like 7 different kind of nation states. You have the Confederacy and the Union, but you also have the Native Americans land. You have all this crazy stuff, and it's a little bit, biblical type of post-Armageddon. It's definitely the 4 horsemen. East of West has a lot of religious overtones, but it's what divides us is greater than what unites us. That we all have these philosophies and these things we're willing to die for, in the past. I mean, we're all lazy slackers now. But, the Indians had their way of life, their indigenous way of life, their gods. The Christians in early America, of course, were willing to die and burn witches and stuff. And then you have Mao Zedong and the communists willing to do whatever sacrifice they had for, the state and all that. And the story of the end of time prophecy was actually a mix of all 3. And this book is actually the answers to everything in life. And I freaking loved it. Hickman is the man. Try this book. And if you don't like it, there's probably something wrong with you, but there's still hope because you could sell it on eBay, I'm sure, for about $10 like all these image number 1. So buy it even if you are somehow deficient and don't like it after you read it. I loved it. Green Hornet. Dynamite. Okay, they're having a little bit of a resurgence here, and Green Hornet, I'm talking about this because of Mark Waid. I love Mark Waid. I love every time he touches something that is an established franchise or established superhero. Yes, he does great creator-owned work, but my lord, this guy can really make something happen. I mean, his Daredevil is what? I mean, we've had Frank Miller, Bendis, Brubaker on Daredevil, and then Mark Waid comes along and is like, well, this is my take. This is my voice. This is my story. And it's like, okay, here's your Eisner. But anyway, Green Hornet, you got the Britt Reed guy, and he's this crusading journalist. He's this crusader. He sees underneath the mask that men put on to see the real man, to make a hero out of a Samaritan or a villain out of a corrupt politician with the power of the paper, the power of his influence. But he also puts on a mask as the Green Hornet, and he's a super criminal now. He is a super criminal. He is a supposed criminal uncovering everything as a criminal, as the Green Hornet, so that he can publicize it as the actual hero he is, Britt Reed, as the publisher. It's freaking awesome. And he also put in some nuance that I don't know if it ever was actual continuity before, but his great uncle is the Lone Ranger. WTF? I mean, that's cool. It's like, Batman's inspired by Zorro because he saw some movie the night his parents were killed. Well, guess what? Green Hornet's uncle, his great uncle, is the Lone Ranger, so suck on that. This was a great first issue. I loved it. American Vampire, if you're liking Snyder's stuff, try Vampire. I know this is Volume 5. We have Volume 1. Give it a shot. You will not be disappointed if you like other, Vertigo stuff, other alt history stuff. It has nothing to do with other vampires or, the weird gothy vampires. These are actual American, Hollywood vampires. Yes, they can be in the sun. No, they don't sparkle. It's great. And finally, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. You know I love this book. You can watch the video where I spotlight it solely, but I would be remiss to not mention Volume 3 is out. So if you're reading the volumes, get this. This is the volume where it all started to come together. It wasn't just humor and characterization and some adventure they're living. It was also philosophy and their religion. These robots' religion, Primus. It was just insane. My favorite Transformers ever and one of my favorite comics ever. So that's about it. Come to our party, Guardians of the Galaxy, Wednesday night. Check it out. Thanks. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video. Click subscribe. Go to Facebook and share it for your chance to win. And if you're local, come to our Guardians of the Galaxy party. We'll get the issue free, the standard cover, and you can buy a beer. And we are going to have a draft system here for this weekend where we're going to have Walking Dead finale and the Game of Thrones premiere the same night for members. And we're going to have the Game of Thrones beer, like the official Game of Thrones beer. I'm not making this up. Thanks, guys. Bye.